Good afternoon / evening. Welcome back to the Celtic Way YouTube channel, X page and Facebook page as well. My name is Ryan McGinley. I'm delighted as always to be joined by Tony Haggerty. We are live in Perth at McDiarmid Park from St Johnstone versus Celtic, 5:45 kickoff. Tony, how are you doing this afternoon / evening? I'm saying that because we'll be going from afternoon to evening in the next 8 minutes, I would say. So Tony, how are you doing this afternoon / evening?
I'm fine and right on cue. The Celtic drummers have turned up, haven't they? And so, yeah, looking forward to this, Ryan. A strong team, as strong as they can get it, with the exception of Cameron Carter-Vickers, isn't it? I thought he might have introduced Luke McCowan, but maybe he fancies Luke McCowan for a start at Ross County next week. But that's some midfield that I think lots of people want to see, Bernardo, Ingles and McGregor. And I thought he also might have given a nod to Ida over Kyogo, but Kyogo's got the nod. But as strong as ever, Ryan. Hopefully Kuhn can continue his magnificent start to the season with a goal or an assist every 44 minutes. Really confident about that team being able to get a result.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just go through the team very quickly. You've got Casper Schmeichel in goals, a back four of Greg Taylor, Liam Scales, Austin Trusty and Alistair Johnson. The midfield three is Cal McGregor, the captain, Paulo Bernardo and Arne Engels. And the front three is Dyson Maeda on the left, Nicholas Kuhn on the right and Kyogo Furuhashi up front. The subs today are Viljami Sinisalo, Adamida, Alex Baye, Hyungjun Yang, Mike Nawrowski, Rio Hatate, Luke McCowan, James Forrest and Tony Ralston. It's a strong bench as well as a strong starting 11, but where really sticks out to you as being the real position of strength? Is it that midfield? Is it the front three? For me personally, I'm looking at that midfield, Bernardo, McGregor and Engels. There's quality littered in that middle of the park.
I see it nearly every week, Ryan. It's that six. Take away the back four and Schmeichel.
If you can't see this, Tony is pointing to the screen and showing where the front six are at this moment. I'll do the bit of the audio description. I totally agree with you. That front six, it's a front six for Celtic in games like this. But yeah, I totally agree with you.
Bernardo, Engels, McGregor, Maeda, Kyogo and Kuhn. That's where the game's won. For me, and I think if those guys play, then there is no danger that Celtic lose this game today. Schmeichel's also on the verge of creating history. Could go the opening 6 games without conceding a goal. Here's hoping he gets to do that and Celtic shut them out at the back. But interested to see the way Scales and Trusty play. Mentioned it yesterday on the pod. Scales will be beside an American central defender, just not the one he's used to.
Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be an American in that centre back pairing, one of the two, or maybe even both at some point in the season. But right now, it's Austin Trusty. I think that's a good place to go, Tony, actually, because it's he made his first start last week. I think there was a lot of mixed responses on how he did. I think that you were a little bit more critical than I was about his performance. I think there was one mistake that he made that was quite glaring, that he allowed Aguiman to get through. A good chance for Falkirk on the day to make it 2-0. But apart from that, I thought he was pretty solid and he grew as the game went on. Is this a perfect opportunity today for him to really solidify himself in that back line and really position himself there for when Carter-Vickers does return, that, look, I'm here now and I'm ready to be playing games?
I wasn't critical of per se of Austin Trusty. I just wanted to be impressed more and come away raving about him, and I felt that for a majority of the Celtic supporters they weren't. We need a bigger sample size, of course we do, but to me that wasn't a guy that played last week who signed for Arsenal and had played a season for Sheffield United in the English Premier League. I wanted to see a bit more, but like everything else, I cut him some slack because he was playing in a back four that wasn't ever appeared before in a Celtic lineup. So, as I say, we need a bigger sample size. But it's games like today where he now knows he's played his first game for Celtic. He knows the standard. He knows the bar that's acceptable. And I think you'll see a better display from Austin Trusty as well. Because nerves play a part too when guys make their first start, and I don't care who you are. But as I say, I just wanted to be impressed a wee bit more than I was. I think that's fair to say, Ryan.
Absolutely.
And for £6 million, I was looking for something, not to justify the price tag, but for something to say, okay, show me what a $6 million man does, that kind of thing.
You're going to be a bit Jerry Maguire on me, show me the money or show me what the money gets me in terms of Austin Trusty. But the thing is, I would actually liken it akin to, do you remember Christopher Julian's debut against, I think it was Dunfermline in the League Cup or something like that, his first start? Very, very shaky debut, but he grew from strength to strength. Nerves play a part. Not every player can come in and instantly be a Cameron Carter-Vickers that dominates that position and really doesn't even make it an argument or make it a question about who's going to be starting. For Austin Trusty, it's a big move for him. It's the biggest club that he's played for. I get that he hasn't played for Arsenal. You know, he's played maybe pre-season games, but even then I would argue that Celtic are a bigger club than Arsenal in some ways. So it's a big move for him. The pressure was on him. He did see a wee bit of nerves in that, but today's a real good opportunity. He's had the backing of the manager to start ahead of Stephen Welsh today. So it's up to him to really show that he can do it.
Maestro 95 got it. $6 million man was, of course, Steve Austin. There you go. See what I did there, Ryan? See?
There's only one Steve Austin for me, and it's Stone Cold. There you go. I guess
that's an age thing, Ryan. That's a Celtic Dad reference, if ever there was one. He was Lee Major, by the way, the $6 million man, for those who are in the know. Yeah, but yeah, listen, I hope Trusty looks the part today. I want him to look the part today. I think Scales has been the best central defender since the start of the season. I think it's fair to say that. Cameron Carter-Vickers has looked a bit uncharacteristic at times.
It's his big toe, isn't it?
Yeah, correct. Now we know why. So we've got the backstory on that, so we can understand that. We can forgive him for that. So, yeah. But I think Trusty now, he's been told with Liam Scales today, right, you're the men to shut St Johnstone out. Managerless St Johnstone, who could be on the verge of appointing their new manager. That might happen today or at some point over the weekend. We came into the stadium and we're hearing a buzz that might actually be happening, Ryan. So we shall see where that takes them. But it's up to Celtic to compound their misery today, isn't it? And just keep on that wonderful start to the season that they've had, unbeaten 100% record start to the season, and scoring goals and playing a brand of football which gets everybody excited.
Absolutely. I just seen somebody say that the graphic was wrong in the screen. Is that the right team? Yeah, I'm just double checking it. While I double check that, do you want to talk about some of the other positions on the park? It's a big day for Bernardo as well, who gets a second consecutive start for the team. I thought he was one of the better players against Falkirk, one of the best starters, I would say, alongside Ida, who once he finally gets service on the day, he scored these 2 goals. Probably could have and should have scored more on the day as well. But good to see Bernardo get another chance. And for me, he's one of the first names in the team sheet on Tuesday. So, you know, do your job for 60 minutes, come off the park and get ready for the for Borussia Dortmund.
Listen, I think you'll see a lot of changes after 60 minutes, but here's hoping that Celtic have the job done and dusted by then. They've got a cracking record against St Johnstone and Perth, and you back this team and you back this manager to have gone through the game plan with these guys to go out there, and there's goals all over the park on that side.
Yeah, I was just checking the graphic. The graphic's completely right. I went 1 to 11 there and all the players. You're making me doubt myself, John Lyons. You're making me doubt myself and that I've done this, right? I don't know if there was anywhere that's wrong. Maybe, I don't know, Scales and Trusty might be in the opposite sides. We'll see that as the game progresses. If that's the case, then so be it. But it's a fluid team. You know that this midfield three, if it is to do with the midfield, actually, then the midfield will move. You know, you'll have McGregor going further forward. We've seen that. It's been a key part of this season. Every game it seems that McGregor's scoring an absolute screamer. You get Bernardo dropping back and going forward. You get Engels being absolutely everywhere on the park, even out on the right hand side as well. He does move in and out of the game, but the positions are only there as a bit of a placeholder. You know that the team's going to be fluid in both going forward and going backwards as well.
Do you know what I felt was overlooked last week because of Kuhn's great cameo and Ida's double? Bernardo's finish.
Unbelievable. He doesn't score tap-ins, Bernardo. This is the thing.
Yeah, but it's an absolute screamer, right? In Glasgow parlance, a dillion, right? But, and I've said before, and people are trying to label Bernardo as this laborious midfielder. This guy's a footballer. He came from the Benfica Academy, and I'll say it till people, the penny starts dropping with people. He's a really good footballer, which is why the manager wanted to bring him back. He's more than just industry and a workhorse. Allied to that, he's a skilled technician. He can prize open defences. He can do the dirty work as well. But you look at the pass he played to Johnston for the opening goal against Rangers that Maida scored down the channel. Absolutely brilliant. Split second, did it, right? That's why Celtic signed the likes of Bernardo, and we picked out all these moments from last season. They were all key moments at big times for Celtic. So I'm delighted that he's back in, but I just wanted to highlight the fact that he did score a screamer last week and it got largely overlooked. And I think it got largely overlooked because everybody thought normal service had been resumed and then Celtic went behind again. But on any other day, you're saying, well, that's goal of the week, it's goal of the season. That's the technique to bury that.
The thing is, Celtic have scored a lot of great goals already this season. They're compiling quite the list of goals of the season, both for the domestic, for everything involved, and then the Celtic's very own one as well. It's going to be one hell of a highlight reel at the end of the season. I mean, we're only at the end of September. We've got so many months to go. Think about the goals that we've yet to see from players like Engels. You know, Engels has been threatening a long-range screamer. Maybe today could be the day. Think about that one.
Germany.
Yeah, Germany, I don't really care who scores in Germany as long as Celtic get a good result. You know, Borussia Dortmund won 3-2 last night against Bochum. I think a lot of people were tuned into that and were watching Tuesday's opponents and seeing that there were weaknesses there. There was weaknesses in that back line. They're not all there when it comes to, you know, the free-flowing Borussia Dortmund. Yes, they came back and scored 3 goals, and that's a measure of their character and a measure of the quality that they've got, particularly Guirassy up front, who looks a great striker, a great find from Stuttgart. But they're there to be got at, and I've got no doubt about it that Celtic are a far better side than Bochum, and Bochum managed to score 2 goals at the Westfalen Stadium. So, you know, let's see what Celtic can do. But today it's all about St Johnstone. They can't allow themselves to take their eye off the ball, literally and figuratively today. I want to talk about the main man at the moment. Now, you could actually attribute that to 2 players at the moment. So I'll give you free rein to talk about whoever you want to talk about here. Arne Engels and Nicholas Kuhn, 2 players that are based in Germany, both in the team that they used to play for, and the fact that one of them is German as well. In the case of the latter, and Kuhn. 2 really important players today and on Tuesday, I would say. What do you expect from them today, especially probably Engels, who didn't start the last game but came on and instantly showed his quality. The same for Kuhn too.
I just expect our bar to keep getting raised. Engels has been quality since he came in, but you saw it from the moment he took to the field against Rangers, and you just thought, this boy looks every inch the footballer. You don't want to go overboard, but you just know you're watching, you think you're watching something special. And Kuhn's recapturing that kind of form where he said he backed himself to one day play in the Champions League. He's played in the Champions League. His next goal is to win a full German cap because he's represented Germany at every unders all the way up to full international level. He's got the ideal showcase and platform on Tuesday night in the Signal Iduna Park to show everybody I'm around and I am back, because this was a guy who was originally the next big thing in Germany. So it's I just think that these 2 guys, you know, Engels going back to a ground that he's familiar with, and Kuhn going to a country where he knows it inside out, they'll be determined to put on a show. So I like that because they'll have that extra to give Ryan on Tuesday night. But first things first, today, take care of today. Tuesday takes care of itself. We have to do the business today. Celtic have to focus on today and this 90 minutes coming up against St Johnstone. And if they can get the job done early, so the manager can bring on that strength and depth in certain positions that he has on the bench and take it from there.
Yeah, and they've got plenty of options on the bench. You know, you talk about Adamida, Alex Baye, you've got Yang as well, McCowan, Nawrowski as a defensive option, Rio Atati, James Forrest, who has a history of scoring here. I remember he scored 4 goals here about 5 or 6 years ago. That was an incredible individual performance from James Forrest. Still think he's got it in him if you were to call upon him to get a goal or 2. We've seen it last season. We've seen it in parts this season as well. He's threatened when he's going forward. So Celtic have got options all over the park. Nicholas Kuhn, he's a man very much on form. Is it 5 goals and 6 assists so far this season? 11 total goal contributions, and we're only at the end of September. You know, we talk about teething issues. There's no teething issues anymore with Nicholas Kuhn at Celtic. He is a player that is bang on form, and I think any joy or a lot of the joy that Celtic will receive today or will get today will come from that right-hand side, both from the return of Alistair Johnston. Thankfully, he's not got that injury anymore, and Nicholas Kuhn. 2 of them are building up a really special atmosphere, a really special sort of relationship and partnership between the 2 of them. So I think if there's going to be some things happening on the attack for the benefit of Celtic, then it'll come from Alistair Johnston and Nicholas Kuhn. Do you agree with that?
No, listen, there's lots to be positive about this team. I said yesterday in the pod, there's very little to be negative about Celtic at the minute. And there are partnerships developing. There's a pattern developing. You can see the way the team are wanting to play under Brendan Rodgers, and it transitioned into the European game on match day 1. Granted, against Slovan Bratislava, people can argue the toss about the merits and strengths and weaknesses of Slovan, but you can only beat what's in front of you. But Celtic are in a test on Tuesday night, and we will find out how good they are. But guys like Kuhn and Johnston, as you say, and Engels are pivotal to the success of this football team. And I mean, we've gone about 15 minutes, 16 minutes, not even mentioned Kyogo up front. So, he's not had the greatest of starts in terms of his goals, but his contribution's actually been okay in terms of his link-up play and playing in that centre-forward role that the manager wants him to play. So, but my one thing about Kyogo this season is, for me, at this minute, he's been missing too many chances, which
one-on-ones
would have buried, no problem at all. So I hope he gets back in the groove today, and if presented with similar chances, there is no messing, he sticks them away.
Yeah, absolutely. As you can see, Tony, everybody else can't see, but the Celtic team are now warming up for this game. You see all the players warming up. You can see Kyogo and Nicholas Kuhn just passing the ball to each other. Two players that are going to be very important. You hope that the two of them can connect today. Maybe one for an assist, one for a goal, vice versa. If anything positive is going to come from Celtic, then you'd think it would be coming from those two players in particular. I want to see Kyogo score a tap in today. I want to see him score a one-on-one. As much as I enjoy him scoring the long-range goals and the well-worked goals, I think there's nothing more satisfying than seeing a striker score a chance that he should score and puts on a plate. Yeah, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. I want to see him put it away. I want him to silence all the doubters going into the Signal Iduna Park, because at the moment I think there's quite a few Celtic supporters and people covering Celtic that probably would have wanted Ademir to start today, myself included. I think he's very unfortunate not to be starting, especially considering the fact that he scored 2 goals against Falkirk and 2 really good finishes. That 3 goals in a week when you factor in the Slovan Bratislava goal. So it's up to Kyogo to show that he still is the main man up front. Horses for courses, as you always talk about. But at the same time, Celtic have got really good strikers up front, and regardless of who they play leading the line, then you expect them to do the business for Celtic.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody doubts Kyogo's ability. I just think they're seeing somebody who has been slack in terms of his chance conversion this season, and missed ones that you thought the Kyogo of old would have buried in his sleep. And Ademir is unlucky at that, but the irony is that Ademir's 2 goals last week were very Kyogo-esque.
Well,
first one especially.
Yes, yeah. Right. The second one was more physical strength and getting his body, manipulating his body in the right way. But I still thought it was a good, different showing of a striker. You know what you're going to get from Ademir. I've always said that Ademir is like a hybrid between what Giakoumakis brought and what Kyogo brought. You've got that sort of middle ground with him, because he's still got that low centre of gravity despite being over 6 foot. But he's got the strength as well. But you know what Kyogo's going to bring you. We've spoke about him for years now. We know exactly what he's going to bring to the team.
But my question on seeing today's selection and lineup is, does that mean Ademir is going to start in Dortmund?
If you put me on the spot there, to be honest with you, I mean,
I'm spitballing. I'm just throwing it into the air, because normally your team selection reflects maybe what you're going to do in the next game, but I don't know. I'm thinking, has he got a particular game plan and way he wants to play in Germany, which would see Ademir start for the very qualities you're talking about, the ability to run the channels, hold the ball up, that brute strength and power that's sometimes needed, and that keen eye for goal. I don't know, it wouldn't surprise me if the manager started Ademir now in Germany based on today's selection, because if Ademir started today, I would have said Kyogo was a cert for Tuesday night, right? So now I'm thinking ahead. I probably shouldn't be, but I guess it's all about what happens today, doesn't it?
Tony, you're allowed to think ahead. The only people that aren't allowed to think ahead are the manager and the players. Everybody else can be excited about the prospect of going to Germany and going to Dortmund, playing against Borussia Dortmund. But the task at hand is St Johnstone. You can't take your eye off the ball at all today. Celtic at the moment are in second place because Aberdeen won 2-1 against Dundee today. So that's another win for Jimmy Tillan's side this afternoon. You know, they're a team in form. I did talk about that being the hardest draw in the League Cup Look at them. 6 games played in the Scottish Premiership, 6 wins. They're winning games, they're scoring goals. Celtic have got to put the pressure back on both Aberdeen at the top and Rangers behind them.
At this moment in time, they ain't going away, Ryan, are they? So I think Celtic have to recognise that challenge and gauntlet that's been thrown down by Aberdeen, and good luck to them. It's dead easy to say the bubble will burst soon, but it's clearly it's confidence coursing right through that team there, and the manager. It's a great start that they've had. Celtic have to now go out, beat St Johnstone, and go back to the top of the table, and that's the task in front of Celtic today. And I'm sure this team, starting 11, is well capable of doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody get your score predictions in. We'll try and read out as many as we can. If you've already done so at the past, and at the start of the video, please put them back in. I'll try and endeavour to bring up as many as we can while we wait on those score predictions coming in. Tony, is there any other areas that you want to discuss in the team? Maybe the left side with Taylor and Maeda and the defensive partnership, I don't know.
Not so much the team, but I believe Claire Best, who's in the comments and the chat, has just had a baby. So congratulations to all concerned, and I hope everybody is fit and well and healthy. So well done to you, Claire, and thanks for tuning in so soon after.
It's dedication in it. Yeah, you can't miss it. Some things are secondary.
So yeah, another addition to the Celtic family. So brilliant. So well done, Claire and partner, and I hope everybody's well.
Absolutely. We'll get tons of predictions coming in. Thank you very much. 420 somewhere who is a member, and I just want to actually bring that up before we go into that's a really good segue, actually. If you want to support our work just that little bit more, I should have done this at the start of the video, but I'm bringing it up just now. You can join our YouTube members channel. For just £2.99 a month, you'll receive early video access, priority comments, and exclusive members chat function. Click that join button if you're on the desktop and get involved and join us and become a YouTube member and get all of the exclusive benefits that will come your way over the coming weeks and months. Let's get into these predictions, shall we, Tony? Where are the first ones? There's so many that we need to go back up. There we go, 420 somewhere. That was the first guy I was going to talk about. 4-0, hail. Kieran Deeney, 4-0, 8-1, easy win. I was getting ahead of myself. Sean Hanlon, 8-0. I was a bit taken aback there, so I was like, that's the first thing that came to my head. 8-0, be great for the goal difference. James Gallagher, 4-0, Celtic. Reece McKinnon, my goodness, 7-0, Celtic. 8-0, Celtic. Why? There's more than one person that said 8-0. That shouldn't be a common scoreline. But if Celtic go all guns blazing, it's a managerless St Johnstone. You never know what could happen on the day. Hazel Finn, always in there. Thank you very much. 4-0 to Celtic. By the way, I'm hoping that all of these score lines are 4-0 and 7-0 and 8-0 to Celtic and not St Johnstone. Because, they're saying it's the home side. You never know. Are Celtic going to get absolutely hammered today? Hopefully that isn't the case. 2-1. There's a wee bit more of a conservative estimate. 2-1 says Mountcalf. Cardiff says, I think we're taking it too easy. Mappy says, I can watch the boys on 2 different channels here in Thailand. Absolutely brilliant. That's good. Flying Haggis saying, I'm doing the rounds on all the Celtic videos. Well, we really appreciate you coming on and joining us and choosing us to sample your pre-match sort of talks and chats and discussion. He says he was at the wind-up. He said 3 or 4-0. I'll take that. Jackie Dillon, a member of the channel, thank you very much. 7-1 to Celtic. He'd keep a clean sheet for Kasper Schmeichel, surely. Take 7-0, 7-1, I think we'd be moaning a little bit. But Celtic still haven't conceded a goal in the Scottish Premiership. Hopefully that doesn't happen today, but a really good record, and you're hoping that they can continue to do that. Natalie McMullen, 4-0. William Doyle, 5-1 Celtic. Hail, hail. Oh my goodness, there is so many that can go with. Thank you very much to 420. Someone he's gifted the Celtic Way membership to somebody else. That means that somebody else has got that membership. Thanks to him. Thank you very much, 420 somewhere. Appreciate that. Thomas says, be happy with a 2-0 win. I think everybody would be happy with a 2-0 win or just any win, as long as Celtic just keep on winning. Their goal difference is far superior to Aberdeen at this point in time. Aberdeen are on a +8. Celtic are on +14. It helps when you're beating teams 3-4-0 every week, second week. So that's good, and not conceding goals as well. So yeah, that's very, very good. What's your score prediction today, Tony? What are you going to go for?
I'm going to go 4-0, Ryan, as well. So I just think this team, there's goals in it, and I'm being conservative with my own thoughts, but I'll say 4-0.
Okay. Moment of truth, see what I say. 5-0. I'm going to go 5-0 Celtic. I think Celtic have got goals all over this team from the midfield Defence actually going for set pieces. Engels is a weapon now, a hidden weapon that Celtic have got in terms of floating that ball into the box. If they get corners, I want Engels to be on every single one of them. Bernardo can take them too, but Engels has got that whipped power. You've seen that against Slovan Bratislava. I want to see that. You look at Scales, you look at Trusty, two big, well over 6 foot defenders. These are guys that can get on the end of that. You get Bernardo, who's a tall player too, and other players that can maybe feed off of a rebound or something like that. So, but I'm going to give 2 predictions here. I'm going to give 5-0 to Celtic, and I'm also going to say that Arne Engels is going to score a goal from outside of the box today. I think he's been threatening it over the past 3-4 games, just trying to find his range. I've spoke about it in at least 3 or 4 podcasts that we've done, that he's got venom in those shots. He's got real power and drive in those shots. But the one problem that he's had is that he's been aiming them directly at the goalkeeper, maybe hoping that the goalkeeper spills it or something. If he chooses either side today, the ball will be getting in the back of that net and he'll be getting a goal. He's scoring penalties. That's great to see. And if he gets a chance from 12 yards, you would expect him to put it away. But I want to see him score from open play too, either that or a set piece as well. Tony, what's your prediction for a goal scorer?
I think Kyogo will score today. He'll get in amongst it again. And Kuhn as well. I think he's, if I'm to say, I think Kuhn will be amongst the goals as well. And I don't think he'll be far away with your Engels shouts. I think he does fancy it. And when he gets within range, I think he's certainly not shy in having a pop. So I think that could come to fruition as well. But as I say, 3 points is imperative for Celtic. Keep up the good start. I would love them to keep a clean sheet and Casper to get his hands on another piece of history so soon into his Celtic career. But as I say, positivity thriving amongst us. You only need to look at those predictions, Ryan.
There's confidence, but there's positivity as well. That it's not misplaced confidence. People can say, "Oh, they're going to score 5-6 goals." I think people are genuinely believing that Celtic will score a barrel load of goals, whoever they play against, regardless if that's Rangers, Aberdeen, Hearts, St Johnstone, Falkirk, Borussia Dortmund. They're confident that this team can score goals against any opposition that comes in front of them.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think from the way they went about their business in pre-season, you could see it building. Thank you, Jason Lee, for that. Really appreciate it. And you always felt if they could play like that in the league and Europe, you were watching something special, as I said earlier. And we still feel that, don't we? We still feel that there's improvement to come and this team will get better. As you say, it's only September. What's this team going to be like December, January, February time? If it goes according to plan and the manager's plan, then it could be frightening. But I think everybody is in that. Well, the games can't come quick enough now because you're enjoying what you're seeing. It's putting lots of smiles and lots of faces, including their own, but especially the manager and the players. They seem to be thriving on it and enjoying it. And it's been a long time since Celtic have been, have gone to a place like Germany and they're feeling confident about doing a number on the Champions League runners-up from last season. I think that's the measure of just how the feel-good factor and the confidence at Celtic Park right now. Granted, it might not turn out to be the case come Tuesday night, but it's certainly the mood music. I'm big in my mood music. Going into it couldn't be any better, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's been 28 minutes, Tony. I think we'll leave it at that and get everybody ready, get everybody settled and watching the game. The game's on Premier Sports. That's why it's the later kickoff tonight. Everybody enjoy the game. Like I just said in the middle of the podcast, if you want to support us just that little bit more, join our YouTube members channel. £2.99 a month and you'll receive early video access, priority comments and exclusive members chat function. Thank you to everybody who's taken us up on that, and thank you to 420 somewhere who has gifted a membership to one lucky person. We'll find out who that is in the fullness of time. Thank you to everybody that's came and watched this video. We appreciate you taking the time to join us on this pre-match show. We'll be back at some point after the match once we've spoke to the manager and the player, and once we've done the instant analysis and player ratings, where we will dissect this game. Hopefully another 3 points for Celtic and back down the road. Thank you very much to everybody. Thank you, Tony, for joining me this afternoon/evening. It's definitely evening now. You can feel it in the air. Enjoy the game, everybody. Fingers crossed another 3 points for Celtic, and we will see you after the game at some point. Cheers, guys, and all the best.